A very good evening and welcome to our second edition of News Tonight. We'll start with a look at the top stories and then later the news in detail. NUP founder KIBALAMA recovers from COVID-19 and hails UPDF for medical care. ARUA legislators want all border riders vaccinated. Chiyunga Health Center closure says Lukoma AIDS, while youngster Prissy Kachesang targets podium at the upcoming Olympics. Michael Jordan Lukoma is my name. I'm with Mohamad Mugalu, the man to interpret in sign language. The founder of the National Unity Platform, Moses KIBALAMA, has hailed the professionalism exhibited by the Uganda People's Defense Forces soldiers at Bombo Barracks and particularly the Referral Military Hospital. He was speaking at his home in Buwambo, Wakiso district, where a team of UPDF doctors had visited him to review his health condition, having been discharged on the 27th of June 2021 from Bombo Military Hospital, where he had been admitted in a coma due to COVID-19. KIBALAMA said the UPDF medics were always available and responsive to the needs of their patients, adding that the UPDF civil military cooperation saw him recover. KIBALAMA's son, Paul Simbwa, said he made the decision to take his father to Bombo Hospital because he had had of good care and medical infrastructure in the UPDF. He said they received good reception and totally free treatment for 2 weeks.
We were received so well. Treatment was received. We want to appreciate the doctors and the administration of the hospital for the tremendous work that they did, because it wasn't very easy to resuscitate Mzee's life. But they gave us everything that was required for him to get healed. Understand the doctors diagnosed him when they took off the tests. He was found to be COVID positive, which is so scaring these days. And very many people have lost life. But we want to thank the hospital and the management, the doctors most especially.
Example for me, I've not had any other ailment since I came home. So they always have PR, public relationship. I never knew until I got into this situation that the army realized I was and we relate in all many things. So that's how they even came to my house to check on how I'm progressing. I'm progressing very well, except for the weakness. There's no further treatment recommended.
About 3 weeks ago, he was admitted at our military hospital in quite a critical condition, but we thank God he recovered, and the team thought it wise that they come right home to visit him and see his condition, other than making him again move up and down, considering the initial condition which he was brought in. It was wise that the team comes right at home to review his condition.
That is Major Henry Obo, the spokesperson of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Land Forces. Members of Parliament from Arua City want Ministry of Health to urgently identify border men and market vendors as categories of people that need to be vaccinated against COVID-19 immediately. The MP stressed that border men are a group of people that are needed by the communities, and therefore this makes them a group that should be vaccinated right away.
Members of Parliament from ARUA City want border riders vaccinated urgently as part of stopping COVID-19 spread. ARUA Central Division MP Jackson Atima says an infected border man sent to buy things in the market can infect many people in one cycle of his work.
Those are the categories to be vaccinated as soon as possible, because we use these borders. With the lockdown directives, His Excellency has said the border should carry cargo. You send a border to buy for you things. This border is buying for you food, is buying for you medication, is buying for you things that you use in your household. If this border is infected, then you risk your whole family.
He thanked health workers in the country for the war they are waging against COVID-19 pandemic, adding that the health workers have shown how patriotic they are in serving Ugandans who would have decided to leave the treatment centers for the sake of their safety against coronavirus.
If our medical personnel were not patriotic, these guys will have abandoned the patients. They will have, because there's fatigue. And we should continue to pray for them so that God gives them the heart to serve the people.
Meanwhile, Arua City Woman Member of Parliament Maureen Osoru wants parents and other stakeholders to protect teenage girls and boys from unwanted pregnancies, as they are vulnerable to perpetrators who take advantage of the lockdown, as was the case in the first lockdown.
It should not only be the parents alone. Even within the community settings, we have elders also as well. They should come up and advise where are they abandoning them at this point when they need them the most. And let them pick up those who are already pregnant. There's nothing we can do about it now. Let them go for those antenatals and let them not shy off. And for those other young girls who are remaining within the communities, let the religious leaders, the parents, the elders take in charge of these people. Let them sensitize not only the girls, even the young boys too as well. We end up only looking after girls and we forget where the main problems come from. So I feel like this problem, as local leaders too, they should address it. We're all stakeholders in this. Not only the parents, we also the local leaders, we should also step up to raise up this flag such that our young girls can be protected from early teenage pregnancy.
Persons with disabilities in Uganda have expressed concern over what they describe as exclusion from the COVID-19 Relief Fund. Princess Mazi Deborah Nakayenga, the chairperson, visually impaired women in Uganda, appeals to government to consider persons living with disabilities as vulnerable people. However, Minister for Information, Communications, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomusi, says the disabled and elderly have been considered under the stipulated categories.
It is a community that painfully lives a different style from that of other people. Whether physical, mental or visually impaired, persons living with disabilities are always categorized as vulnerable. However, in the proposed COVID-19 relief aid meant for vulnerable people, PWDs claim they were not considered. The chairperson for visually impaired women of Uganda, Deborah Mazi Nakayenga, describes this as unfortunate.
You can't use a boda. Even if you have a garden, you can't send a boda man to go to the garden and pick your food. So we are facing many challenges during this lockdown.
No movement, business and work are the basis for which Nakayenga, a councillor for female PWDs in Wakiso, calls upon government to reconsider its position.
So even the PWDs should be mentioned or are one of those who are supposed to get that money of 100,000 so that they can also help themselves.
A 2016 census report by Uganda Bureau of Statistics indicated that 12% of the Ugandan population lives with some form of disability. This implies that approximately 4.5 million Ugandans are persons with disability, with prevalence amongst women at 15% than men at 10%. It was reported to be higher in rural areas at 15% than in urban areas at 12%.
During this period, all projects are stopped. We can no longer go for work. We are all PWDs are indoor. So what I'm seeing is that they are violating the policy of inclusiveness.
To allay these fears is Minister for Information and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi.
You see, the primary issue we are looking at is employment. Employment in the sense that there are people who work in urban areas and they depend on what they earn on a daily basis. And now because of the lockdown, because of these measures, they are not working. People like taxi drivers, people like those who work in saloons, people like those who work in the bars. And therefore, government is giving them some relief support in order for them to get some food to feed their families.
Baryomunsi clarifies that the disabled and elderly have been considered under the stipulated categories.
So if you are a person with a disability, but you fall in those employment categories, you are a shushaina or any of those categories, then you should be prioritized. So it is not true that persons with a disability have been left out. They are not left out.
The country went into a second lockdown in mid-June 2021 over surging cases of coronavirus. Recently appointed Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has since announced plans to aid some relief to vulnerable persons. Henry Okurut, UBC.
State Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, who also doubles as Kisoro District Woman Member of Parliament, Sarah Nyirabasi, she has donated gas cylinders to Kisoro Hospital.
The Minister of State for Youth and Children, Sarah Mateke, has donated gas cylinders to Kisoro District Hospital to support COVID-19 patients. While handing over the cylinders to the medical superintendent of Kisoro Hospital, Sarah Mateke applauded the hospital staff for the work well done as they continue to attend to the patients. She said that she wanted to buy 8 cylinders, but she found only 2 cylinders at the National Medical Store, but asked the hospital administrator, Dr. Michael Baganizi, to identify another market where she can buy more 6 oxygen cylinders.
They are overwhelmed by the numbers, but we want to thank them because they have really struggled. If you can see the numbers that have come in and have gone out when they are well, we want to thank them. On the issue of oxygen, I was supposed to bring more cylinders, but the way the doctor has told you, getting cylinders is very hard, and even the price has been hiked. But we believe that anytime the cylinders come in, we shall increase. And we believe that we are going to add on. We are going to add on 2 are very little, but we are going to add on, if God helps us, we are going to add on more. And Ministry of Health is looking for a way how we can add on more cylinders in every hospital in Uganda.
She, however, advised the community to abide by the standard operating procedures if they are to curtail the spread of COVID-19.
And if we listen to what Ministry of Health has been telling us and our President, I believe that the numbers can reduce.
Dr. Michael Baganiza said that Kisoro Hospital has challenges, especially the shortage of gas cylinders, revealing that they need about 60 of them. Dr. Baganizi thinks this will help reduce on the trips to Mbarara, which they make twice in a week, to refill gas cylinders, which is costly in terms of transport.
Because every bed, every patient needs about 2 to 3 cylinders every day. So as this one gets finished, you need another one there, and then as it's there, you need another one in Mbarara so that you rush and go and pick it. Because we don't have enough cylinders, it is delaying. When we go to pick them, we have to go with the empty ones and wait for them to be filled from there.
He, however, thanked the Minister of Health for continued support to the facility amidst hardships occasioned by the pandemic. Kisoro had on Friday registered 541 positive cases, 101 recoveries, 434 under home care management, while 28 are admitted, of whom 11 are on oxygen. The same statistics reveal that so far 21 people have succumbed to COVID-19. Dr. Stephen Sabiyumva, the Kisoro District Health Officer, confirmed this and said that the cases are on the rise. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
As we continue.
A gold mine pit has collapsed on a teenager, burying him right away in Kasese District. Joel Mbusa Mukunguli, a resident of Kamugobe, 2 village in Kisinga sub-county, had been working at this site together with 5 others until it caved in as he worked under it.
It's now 2 days since a gold digger was buried alive in Kasese District. Joel Mbusa Mukunguli was covered by debris that broke loose from the walls of a 30-meter deep hole. The Deputy Regional Police Commander Fred Wakadubi confirms the incident with optimism for retrieve of the missing person.
We are here on day 2 after day 1 at the scene where the soil collapsed on some people who were trying to look for wealth. But unfortunately, 5 survived and 1 is believed to be still down. And this day 2, we are still here searching, and it is because it is too deep, estimated 30 meters, and the soil has covered, according to the site manager, it is believed that it has covered 10 meters.
Wakadubi urged locals to report cases of unknown activities to relevant authority. 15-year-old Benson Mombere, who is also a new recruit at the site, says that one of their colleagues had told them about the crack that formed on the walls of the pit, but the deceased gave it a deaf ear. Mombere, who had only worked for 4 days, was told that they were searching for gold, and each day one would earn 8,000 Uganda shillings. Area local leaders and residents say they were not aware of the activities taking place at the site.
Before, we had not known what was happening here, but later on, let me say yesterday, it came to my notice that there was some extraction of some minerals here, which activity I was not aware of. But as a leader, I came concerned and found there was some extraction I witnessed, and we realized that there were some people, residents of this area, that were working within this area where they used it to extract the minerals.
The sub-county chairperson, Julius Mokeri, advised community members to stay away from working with unrecognized companies.
Pastor SEBUKYU Elijah has cautioned Ugandans against sabotaging the ongoing vaccination exercise. This was at the launch of the Love Link project, which is aimed at supporting vulnerable people during the COVID-19 lockdown.
Kampala International Christian Center Pastor Elijah SEBUKYU says those with the habit of disrupting government programs should stop. He wants government to strengthen efforts aimed at protecting Ugandans against COVID-19.
What is this? People have been vaccinated. Kati omuntu yenna alemesa vaccination talina magezi
Government eyingiza vaccination tukubiriza abantu bano bagende bakoleki begemye obulamu buddemu mu bintu bya bulijjo.
Pastor SEBUKYU made the remarks while launching Love Link project aimed at supporting vulnerable persons during this COVID-19 lockdown. He donated posho, soap, rice, among others, at the function held at Kampala Christian Center in Janja. Pastor SEBUKYU disclosed that this is the second time the church is supporting these families, and in the previous lockdown of 2020, that 2,000 families were also supported.
And Love Link came to me. I mobilized my pastors and we launched Love Link. We served 32,000 families. We took money to the government, to the Prime Minister. We took food to the Prime Minister, but we also moved in different parts of the country, giving out food. So this
Pastor SEBUKYU advised government to work in partnership with religious leaders during the disbursement of 100,000 relief fund to the vulnerable. Some of the beneficiaries commended Pastor SEBUKYU for supporting them during these times of need. Edwin Yachwara, UBC News.
Residents in Luka district are in a state of confusion and shock following a sudden end of admissions by Chiunga Health Center 4. This hospital is the largest in the area and caters for more than 100 patients daily.
It has entered day 2 since admission services at Chiunga Health Center 4 were stopped due to spiraling COVID-19 cases.
Now when we look at the closure, it really has affected the district because one, we have very many patients. People are feeling sick 24 hours. So whenever it is closed, you find that the district is going to be affected.
Services for outpatients are, however, still carrying on. The challenge is that many of these patients, most of whom aren't COVID-19 positive, need admission, which when non-timely is certain to cause fatalities.
Ngantambwera bigere nino omulwaire ndiro tuka ku wodi ati wantuleka irokola bayigeiro nganze kinumiriza government yenu ibo besobola lwakiti baleka ife nibatwirandabira kuwano ife tusobola tuka Kampala yebali.
The resident district commissioner Lilian Nakawesi assures the public that the hospital will be fully operational in a few days, especially after disinfecting it.
Bweba kalero luvainuma nga alina COVID era abasawo babawa amagezi nti tusooke tufulumyemu abalwaire abandi kubona abairengamu nga tetwidde nti alina COVID kuba twali mutola kusamba okutola ya okuwonya abandi abalwaire n'endwaire edindi okubafulumya tusobola okufuuyira woodi olwenda okumala ennaku 2 memala ate tuyiremu tutemu abalwaire abandi.
The RDC reiterated adherence to standard operating procedures by members of the public.
Mourners have, through various media platforms, attended the burial of Makerere University-DON professor, the late Noble Ephraim Manada, who recently succumbed to COVID-19 at Case Clinic in Kampala.
What you want to tell you? Nothing? Come on, you have something to say. Say yes. You love him. Yes, yes. You love him? Yes. That's all you want to say? Promise to make him proud. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. David, anything to daddy?
Mukakasa abakimanyi nti Nobo gyendi kyabadde nga teri muntu yenna ndowooza asobola kukibeera, teri mulala asobola kukibeera. He was the best husband. He was my friend. I know at the beginning of the relationship you said, I don't want to be your friend. I want to be something else. I just want to be something more, not your friend. But we were friends. He was the best father. He was the best at everything he did for his family.
Tufiiriddwa mukwano gwaffe, tufiiriddwa kitaffe kubanga yabadde yasikira omugenzi kitaffe James Semwanga. Tufiiriddwa omusajja muganda waffe abadde atayawula mu kuyamba, ayagaliza nga wonna woweerera n'ekizibu omukubira n'akuyamba. Njagala okubategeeza, Bernard has been a good servant. He has served his family, he has served his friends, he has served the church, he has served the community, and he has served this nation.
Erinnya lya Yesu ddungi eri akkiriza lisangula amaziga ge limala okutya litereza n'omwoyo gwe linyinga ebiwundu yemereyo biwumu okussa wansi emigugu egy'obulamu buno naffe bwetyo kyetuva tuddira mu mirigo ne tuguza mutaka kubanga ettaka lya mutaka n'enfuufu bwetedda mu naye tulina.
May the professor's soul rest in eternal peace. Let's take a short break. Do not miss business news on return.
As the financial year 2020-2021 draws to an end, URA has put measures in place to facilitate taxpayers to file their returns and pay taxes within the set deadline. All our offices across the country and the URA Contact Center shall remain open to provide extra support to our esteemed taxpayers. Additionally, we have extended our contact center service hours from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and public holidays. In light of the COVID-19 risks, we encourage taxpayers to reach us through our improved contact center and other online platforms instead of making physical visits to our offices. For online support, please reach us through our toll-free lines 0800 117 000 or 0800 217 000. Email services@ura.go.ug. Website ura.go.ug. Social media Facebook URA page, Twitter @URA Uganda. URA Customs Help Tool help.ura.go.ug/login. URA appreciates all taxpayers who have duly fulfilled their obligations. Stay safe and let us all observe the standard operating procedures to prevent further spread of the COVID-19 virus. Stay safe as we develop Uganda together.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Send You points when you deposit, send and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
cha COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear a mask properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
In efforts to improve quality assurance and Uganda's competitiveness as a tourist destination, Uganda Tourism Board is set to undertake a nationwide grading and classification exercise of hotel and accommodation facilities. As a member of the East African community, Uganda subscribes to the East African Grading and Classification Criteria, a system denoted by stars ranging from 1 to 5. The grading and classification exercise will be crowned by the awarding of star ratings to facilities found compliant to the EAC minimum standards. This is therefore a call to all accommodation and facility owners and managers to register and get licensed by UTB as a requirement and get ready for participation. For more information, visit www.utb.go.ug or email qualityassurance@utb.go.ug for details. Uganda Tourism Board, promoting tourism together.
Fellow Ugandans, you know that the current COVID-19 period is a trying time in our lives. However, we still have another threat that has been with us for a long time, and it is called neglected tropical diseases, also known as NTDs. NTDs include bilharzia and worms that cause swollen stomachs. Trachoma causes blindness, and elephantiasis causes the swelling of legs. These diseases are affecting millions globally, and yet they can be prevented by regular hand washing with soap and clean running water, regular washing of the face with a soap and clean running water, keeping dirty hands away from your eyes, always using pit latrines and discouraging open defecation in your community to avoid flies that carry germs, reporting to the health facility early when feeling unwell. Remember to stay safe and protect yourself. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from a SAIN project.
UBC Business News tonight. President Yoweri Museveni encouraged farmers to engage in farming to enable them and the country continue developing socially and economically despite the COVID pandemic and the lockdown. For this reason, those farmers who have put their advice into practice regarding the regardless of the presidential directives are now earning.
Farmers who followed President Museveni's advice on embracing cultivation of their plots have a reason to smile as they have started earning from their agricultural produce. When the country experienced its first lockdown, President Yoweri Museveni asked farmers to utilize their land and ensure there is enough food for domestic use and sale. Modern farmers in Luada, Matuga, Buloba, Kayabwe, Mpiji, Mityana, and those that are at the shores of Lake Wamala said they have no reason to regret despite the pandemic.
Bakutwala ng'omulimu nayezo okulima kimanyi nti business kubanga womayira nti business ekiseera
nafuka kugenda mu kyalo nefuna ennimiro netandika okulima kasooli naye kati essaawa zino nawo yiika zange ezakasooli nawo yiika zange 2 weziri wanene ezakasooli kati COVID-19 yewa kubeera nga toli mu tawuni oyina kujja mu kyalo okutandika kuyiyambeera kuba wesibe Kampala tolina kyosobola kufunayo nga kiri awo. Kuba nava mu tawuni nenzijja ntandika okulima kati ndaba byennima bimpa emirembe ate eno sisanzeeyo nnyo buki buzibu bwempulira mu matawuni bwendaba mu maki.
At Luada in Matuga, Wakiso district, Joseph Kakoza, a model farmer with over 20 acres of banana plantation and pineapples, encouraged the government to support model farmers to enable them continue be exemplary to smaller farmers, especially in the rural areas, for betterment of the agricultural sector in the future.
The backbone of this economy in Uganda. But what drives agriculture is agricultural research. And I've mentioned it doesn't take too much. If in each district we had a DFI, District Farmer Institute, which supports farmers with agricultural research in terms of what seeds to use, what are the key pests and diseases that affect their crops, what are the market nutritional values of their agricultural products.
Kakoza also appealed to government to revamp district farm institutes across the country because they were very vital in boosting agricultural produce. An agro-scientist and researcher in Buloba Wakiso district, Erastus Nsoboga, commends government for spearheading NADS, among others for contributing towards improving the sector, which is the backbone of the economy of the country.
That is partially commercial. Okay, so what I'm advising people right now is that do it properly. Do it with good management, dig your holes properly, prepare your garden well in advance, make sure you have the facilities which are required, like some grass around for mulching when the hot season gets on, and so on and so forth. You know how to decipher your garden, know how to apply in case you get some, kind of.
Nsobuga, however, encouraged farmers to always grow crops, doing well in their localities, especially in Buganda. He advised farmers to ensure growing of bananas, among other crops, and the government to support farmers to reduce counterfeit agricultural products on the market. Farmers also to maintain quality of their produce, especially which have market in the neighboring countries, like maize, beans, soya beans, groundnuts, among others.
Go anywhere, and the banana will give you a bunch, regardless of the management. How big is the bunch is a different question. And then there is these bananas grown by most of the people here for commercial or for both, eating and commercial. If you're going to grow, if you're an average family in Uganda, you're growing your bananas 1 or 2 acres, definitely that is partially commercial. Okay? So what I'm advising people right now is that do it properly. Do it with good management.
Edwin Yachwara, UBC News.
Residents of Kasese and Rubirizi have been warned against illegal inter-district travels, a measure aimed at reducing the COVID-19 infection rate. The RDC Rubirizi, Nakamia Harriet, together with the RDC Kasese, Lieutenant Joe Walusimbi, have said that they will not tolerate people who want to cross from one district to another during the course of repairing the Katunguru Bridge.
Rubirizi RDC Nakamia Harriet has warned area residents against inter-border movements as a measure aimed at de-escalating the spread of COVID-19. This warning comes at a time when the country is in the middle of a lockdown aimed at preventing the spread of COVID-19. She says those with the vehicles must be cleared from the RDC's office after presenting genuine reasons.
No one is supposed to cross here without a temporary movement permit. But for the borders, I authorized the LOC1 because I have been always dealing with the trading in Matoke. Authorized the LOC1. Then others like vehicles, it is only RDC stamp to allow you to stamp to cross this one. The other one from Kampala, they have the permission from Kampala team.
The RDC Kasese Lieutenant Joel Simbi noted that as leaders, they will work hard to ensure that movements at Kazinga Channel are only for those cleared.
We are going to sit as a team and technically see how best we can handle this. But I strongly believe that these already vehicles which are come across or come to cross here already cleared. Because nobody is just vehicles moving anyhow. So the same to Rubirizi side. So right now I'm just going to meet my counterpart in Rubirizi to share and see how best we can ably handle the situation.
The chairman, Katunguru Sub-County, Swale Kabuye, appealed to government to allow small boats at Kazinga Channel to transport cleared people since they are experiencing delays by the ferry.
Ata amatogola amanji ne ugana akolera. Ebitunaka amato 10 ne gatwala abantu batano abantu ba 50. Instead okuba nti bali kiraki bali wano kituyambako ne babanga ba moving. Wo bulade muno kati ngabe tulwana. Mulimo olude abali affected ngobo kirabo. Ninga tetukimanyi. Ate n'okubabeeza wanennyo kina kyekikozinga.
The tourist guides who use Kazinga Channel route also requested government to provide a second ferry to ease tourist movements.
Kiba kisoboka nga waliwo ferry endala gye basobola okuleeta nereeta nga bakonsideringa abalambuzi okubawa first priority kubanga bo babeera ku biseera nga tulaba nti ekyo bwe kiba tekibaddeewo ng'eggwanga abalambuzi bonna basobola okusalawo ne ba option yaabwe ne bagiwa amawanga amalala gatuliraanye ng'e Kenya, Rwanda ne Tanzania n'osanga nga ffe ng'eggwanga nga tufiiriddwa revenues ze twandifunye ku ezo.
Katunguru Bridge repair is expected to be completed in 3 months' time.
The World Health Organization Africa region has warned that the new and faster spreading COVID-19 variants are fueling Africa's surging third wave. The World Health Body said on Friday that cases in Africa have increased for 6 weeks running up by 25%, with case numbers doubling in Africa. Focus is fast turning to the new spreading variants. The Delta variant is reportedly spreading to a growing number of countries, which has so far been reported in 16 African countries, including 9 with surging cases. In Uganda, the Delta variant has been detected in 97% of samples sequenced and 66% of all severe illnesses in people younger than 45 years in Uganda is being attributed to the Delta variant. With rising case numbers and hospitalizations, World Health Organization estimates that oxygen demand in Africa could rise above 50%. The World Health Organization has made a call for everyone to act now and boost preventive measures to stop the emergency from becoming a tragedy. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has decried the rising cases of gender-based violence in Africa, saying the situation had reached global emergency levels. Kenyatta said that COVID-19 had exacerbated the already dire global gender-based violence situation and called for urgent corrective action by the international community. The Kenyan head of state spoke on Wednesday evening during a panel discussion at the opening session of Generation Equality Forum in Paris, France. The forum is a global gender equality gathering convened by the United Nations Women and co-hosted by Mexico in France. Kenyatta noted that gender-based violence is a global challenge affecting over 36% of women aged between 15 and 49 years, and pointed out that Africa had recorded a spike in gender-related violence in the last 1 year. He said that Cameroon 35%, South Africa 37%, Central African Republic 50%, Liberia 50%, and Kenya 50% had recorded some of the highest increases of gender-based violence on the African continent in the last 12 months. Kenyatta reiterated Kenya's commitment to ending all forms of gender-based violence by the year 2030, saying that the country will continue tightening its anti-gender-based violence policies by adopting relevant international treaties, including the ILO Convention 190. He said that Kenya will invest over $23 million in gender-based violence prevention programs by the year 2022 and increase budgetary allocation to $50 million by 2026. The investment will include an annual $1 million research fund and a gender-based violence survivors kit. Uganda's cast to the upcoming Tokyo 2020 Olympics is a mix of experience and youthful exuberance that points to good tidings. The experienced group is led by Stephen Kiprotich, while the youngsters include Priska Chesang, who dreams big.
I'm Chesang Priska, who's going to represent Team Uganda in 5,000 meters Olympics Games. My aspiration is at least I want to reach the finals because it's my first time to go for Olympic Games. My role model is Siva Hassan.
And that ends news tonight. We thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukoma with Mugalu, Mohamad and the whole team. We wish you the best of the night and the week ahead. Bye-bye.
COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear a mask properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.